Welcome to the Godmother podcast. I am the Godmother, and I am so happy that you came to join us today. Let me start off by saying if you are new here, thank you for joining us. Welcome again. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It will be greatly appreciated. If you are returning, thank you. I appreciate you. Love you. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. It'll be greatly appreciated. Now, for those who do not know who I am the godmother and I am here to nourish your mind, body, and soul. I am here to add with the uplifting of the community, society, the universe, this realm, with so much negativity going on in the world. I don't want to add to that. So I want to be a source of compassion, a source of safe haven, somewhere where you could be able to get information, knowledge, understanding, guidance, support, aid. That's me. And so I come to you with different topics that form around family, individuality, community, work, career, education, things of that. It's just different topics and subjects that can resonate with you, and maybe there's a message that you can be able to receive. If not for you, pass it on. So, for those of you that don't know, I am an artist, I am an author, I am an event planner, and I am a motivational speaker. So, yes, I have my hands in quite a bit of things, but it all comes from the heart. Ultimately, I am a creator. What does that mean? I build worlds. And I am building something now. And please stay tuned and follow with me because I would love for you to accompany on this journey and then join me in this oasis. But we'll get to that further time on down the road in the future. But today, as always, I'm bringing you a message. Now, for those of you who are familiar with my messages and you've watched my videos, then you know I speak whatever it is that I come to say based off what it is that is calling me to speak. And this particular time, I want to talk about what I call our gifts. What are our gifts? So I know that that could be a little general. So, what do you mean about our gifts? Some people don't open their gifts. Some people actually be like, well, when you say gifts, what do you mean? Your skills, your talents. You know what I mean? What are you good at? Many of us associate that with occupation. Okay. So if I was to ask you, what's your profession? Or what do you do for a living? Okay. Many people have a tendency of what they're either good at, they know what a lot of, or it's just something they enjoy doing. They navigate toward those type of skills in order to make an income or become a career. It's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Because of course, you know what I'm saying? They say if you do what you love, it's like you never worked a day in your life. So my thing is this is that what is your profession? And what do you do for a living? But more importantly, what do you do with it? Hmm. So that's where I'm kind of going because I feel like this. We all have the ability and gifts that not only can we use them to produce an income, an honest monetary gain, but we can also pass on. And I feel that's what's not happening enough. I'm gonna tell you something. I was talking to my mother, and we were speaking of my grandparents, and I was speaking of how much they passed away with when it comes to knowledge. Right? My grandfather was a trained mechanic. My grandmother had been a bank teller for like 25, 30 years. So they had all of this knowledge. My grandfather, in all fairness, I was able to get some knowledge out of him when it comes to a sense of direction, right? Whereas it that my grandmother, I didn't realize till later on after she was gone, she knew so much about financial literacy that we didn't talk about. So the thing is this is that when we have individuals that either are related to us or in our immediate circle or personal circle, do you know what they do? Or what is it that you can learn from, right? And so I prompted myself because in the last video I talked about how I've called a family meeting. And with the family meeting that I'm calling, it one of the things that we would start with is what does everybody do and what does everybody know how to do? I don't know when you have your conversations with individuals, and we're going to stick to the ones that you're related to. These are your blood kin, right? When y'all have conversations and you talk, what are you talking about? Are you talking about other people or are you talking about something that's meaningful? Most of us, we like money, so we like to work. But a lot of times, just because you know that an individual work, you might not know what they do. Okay? I'm gonna give you an example. A phlebotomist. Okay? Anybody know what a phlebotomist is? You understand what it entails and what they have to do. That's a lot, right? But this individual also knows how to extract blood. Everybody don't know how to extract it. You know how to poke yourself, but do you know how to extract blood? Okay? I know everybody might not be ready for that, but that's fine. But my thing is this, I'm going somewhere here with it. So when you think about people and their occupation, their profession, what they do for a living, there's so many things that can be beneficial off of that other than just getting a check. And I feel that if we start with the individuals that we are close around or related to, we can be able to gather so much skill and knowledge just from that setting, you'll be surprised. And I talked about that in the other video as far as with my mother, who's a nurse. To where is it that now I'm taking notes, whatever it is that you know, I want to know as much of it is as I can. And I've seen that in a video time because I'm always watching my teachers, the content creators that are grasping my attention with the knowledge and information that they are giving me that I did not know. And so one of the things that was shared in one of these content that I was watching was that we need to make sure that we are having these conversations with the elders because they got so much knowledge. In addition to the elders having knowledge, individuals are working in companies and positions that have knowledge. Now, we'll use that information and knowledge, to get us a couple of extra dollars or be crooked or whatever. I'm not here to knock you. I'm saying in your circle and in your tribe, your relation and your kin, are you sharing what you can do? And I feel like this is what we need to be doing now. So now the thing is this is that when you start with your gifts, and most of the time people take those gifts and they use them toward an honest monetary gain or occupation. If you have a type of gift where that you're not easily able to just go and get a job like that, you may turn it into a hobby. But it is still a gift that you have, that you possess, that you can actually teach. I mean, think about it. They pay people to just design a house. So that means you literally have individuals, they have people that come and clean your house. We already know that. So we got people that don't want to clean the house, but you got people that can clean a house so good. I would have started the business too. Now, don't get me wrong, my children can tell you I clean the house. Do I want to start a company off of it? No. Have I made money off of that? Yes, I have. Will I make money off of it? Yes, I can and will. But to start a business with it, no. Because I wouldn't be consistent with it. I utilize it when it's able to make me a couple of dollars and then I'm done. That's not the passion. But I don't knock nobody else, but I'm going somewhere here. Because the thing is this is that I messed around and came across a video that showed the hacks of different ways that you can use the claim. So I'm like, man, it's so much information out here. But whatever it is, there's a skill set that you have that in addition to you going to work for someone else to make the money, you actually can be contributing to either your generational legacy and wealth or your circle around you, your tribe, your familia. And I feel like that's what needs to be done. So when I call this meeting, because basically in my family, we have four living generations, right? I'm a part of the second generation that, you know what I'm saying, in my family. And I'm speaking on my mother's side, okay? Now my father's on the matriarch side. We have four generations that's up under us. I am proud to say that in two of the generations, the two in the middle generations, 95% of the recipients are employed. Okay? That's good. Whether you want to accept it or not, that is good. So I love that says to me, y'all will work and they ain't lazy. What it didn't dawn on me is that you know how much skill that is sitting around? Hell, I got one child that actually build cars. I build cars. My thing is this, you know what I'm saying? He has the knowledge in order to be able to go through the steps of that. I have, you know what I'm saying, children that's in medical billing. You know what I'm saying? I have children that's, into all of these different skill sets that we can learn. And it prompted me to say that this is where we need to have these conversations because a lot of the elders, when they transition and pass on, they taking that with them. My grandfather was a mechanic. Do you know how much stuff I wish he had taught me in addition to direction and how and to move around? But I didn't have these conversations and I wasn't thinking about that, right? Man, my daughter let me know that she actually paid attention and followed me because I was actually working with special needs and I learned sign language. Do you know I would go home just to make sure that I am still equipped with the sign language and I would sign to my children? Do you know they know some sign language to this day because of that? Just imagine if I was just consistent. But I was only doing the sign language really because of the job. But to take it on seriously, and to be honest, I was the only one of the particular assistants that was able to deal with them type of children at that specific um organization. But never the case, it was a skill that I picked up, right? And so we have to know that we all have skills that we could be able to share with one another as family that can help. Okay? And we need to start doing it. We need to be coming together to say, okay, every week we should be able to have some type of meeting where we get together with the elders in the family that you're building the bridge by saying, okay, I know what I do. But I also know that this elder is not knowledgeable or does not really know. And I'm going to use an example. Many of these millennials, they're so techno savvy. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But many of the elders that's in your family are not. So my suggestion is that all that knowledge that you use for your job in the technical way, go take some meaningful time and be with your elder and sit and listen to some of the stories of the knowledge that they have by starting with just what they did for a living and being able to share with you what they know. You'll be surprised if you take the chance. Then you in turn say, okay, grandma, granddaddy, great grandma, great granddaddy, you know how to use that phone? You know how to use that computer? Not really, baby. I don't know how to use that thing. Let me show you. Use that as your time to say you spend with them. Where's it that you're sharing something good with them? And trust me, with them learning something new, and you got to be patient, that helps keep them living. Not aggressively or intrusively, but on a level where is it coming peacefully and calmly, where you're harmony, where you're having harmony, but you're teaching one another. I'm using that as example that you could use, but when you have everybody come to the table, everybody bring the skill that they have. If y'all have anybody that is nurses and doctors in y'all family, and y'all don't know the basis of CPR and how to stop the bleeding on a gunshot wound, y'all got something that y'all need to talk about at the next gathering. We should be doing this. You have somebody who works as a policeman. They should be able to share with you more things about the law and what you them talks. They should be able to give some of them talks about how to be able to react to certain. I'm using an example to say we have skill sets that we can be able to pass on to one another as family, in addition to be able to use them just to get a job or just to work for somebody else. Let them work for your family. Now, many of us don't like to have customers in our family. So I'm not speaking from the level to say, okay, I'm looking for them as a customer. I'm saying teach them your skill, right? You know how to do hair, okay? You don't feel like fussing with them all the time to have them pay you because you know you want to get paid. Teach them some basics. Let me show you how to do a ponytail. Let me show you how to maintain it. Some people are smart enough after you've been and did their hair long enough, they gonna pay attention to what you're doing. They're gonna start picking up the supplies so they can do it themselves. But everybody might not be like that. Pick a day where you can be able to teach the basics. These are the good shampoos that you should use. These are the good conditioners you can use. Share your skill set. Be able to let it benefit with the family too, so they know. Especially if you're talking about in the medical industry and the legal industry. Come on now, y'all. If you're doing that already, man, continue. If you're not, I'm speaking to you to say, let that be a prompt or an idea for you to start addressing to your family. Because remember in the last video, I talked to you and I told you, make sure you go ahead and start your family meeting so you can be able to start planning for your family. I'm saying now, be able to bring everybody to the table and figure out what everybody's skill set is so they can share it. Y'all can always have something productive to do. And if it's something that's needed, you know that you can go to. We shouldn't, when we have skilled, trained, experienced individuals in our circle who are related to us, who we are close to, that provide a product or service that we need, if you are spending your money somewhere else, why? Why? Then learn what they know. If you choose, is it a reason? Do you think they don't do it? Learn what they know. Do it on your own. Let's keep it together. Keep it in the family. But more importantly, share your skill set. Y'all, everyone as a family should have a place where we can go, or y'all all could go, where we can start teaching these elders as much technology as we can teach them as they can. They're forced to use it, and they are being they're being used as victims because they're not knowledgeable. So people get away. They have video. It's very difficult and hard for the elders sometimes to determine the difference between a live person and AI. But when we start teaching them these different things, watch how they start learning. Watch how they start knowing. And do it to where it's repetitive. Even if you got to get creative, create pictures, signs, visuals, whatever the case is. Teach your skill set that you are using to make money for a company or organization for their dream. Take that skill set and start teaching your family. It's cultures that are doing that. They're sharing that information. I'm I wish that when my mother wanted to give us more of that information, she right. We rebuked it. We were not trying to, hey, whatever. And she did. But when something happened, we got sick, we needed some type of medical attention, she the first person we went to. And she knew what to do. But when it was time for her to teach us what she knew, we didn't have time for. So that's why I'm telling y'all, do that. Make the time. Your grandfather, if he knows how to work on cars, I don't care if you are a man or a woman, get out there and learn everything about that car. You can use that as a conversation piece to be able to build connections with. He's teaching you. He's going to take all of that with him when he transitions. Why not put it in you? Do something with it. We're not thinking like that because we're thinking that we are not able to learn from one another. We are. If you can go to a job and they can teach you how to do their job, what makes you think you can't learn from nobody else, especially in your related people? Stop. That's what the family meeting needs to be. It needs to be able to start to be able to say, what does each one do? And how can you teach that to everyone else? The maintenance man was doing some maintenance work in my home, and I was asking him questions. You know why? Because I want to know. Knowing that I have a work order that I have to wait long time to get fixed, and realize that when they finally come to fix it, it takes less than 15 minutes. I need to know how to do it. And I was taught that quick, and then I realized you go on YouTube and find the same thing. But we're not talking about it until it's needed. But I'm waiting because, man, I don't know this, and I got to wait until they come. Whatever the case is, we have individuals in our family that know stuff. It was a situation where an individual was applying for a position, and a relative had previously worked in that particular company. And the family member that worked in the company previously had the knowledge still on them that they shared it with the family member that was getting hired recently with the company, and it helped. Their experience don't have to be the same, but you can share what you know. That even makes this individual perform even more because now they know the ropes, or to be able to be cautious to say, okay, now let me do this. There's many benefits in being able to take your skill set, your knowledge of whatever occupation that you are currently doing, and teach that to your family. You know how to do nails. Teach them how to do nails. You know how to build with wood. You should be teaching everyone in your family how to build with wood. We should be creating events around where it's that, okay, this is what we're going to learn today. And trust me, I know it's families out there that do it. Thank y'all. Where do you think I get my inspiration from? But for those that are not, this has to be the focus. We got to get ourselves to the next level and stop just staying, not even at first base. We still trying to actually hit so we can run. So let's get it together. And for those of us that's understand what I'm talking about and feel me and going through that in your family, I'm speaking to you. You don't have this problem, I'm not speaking to you. Pass it on to somebody that needs to hear it. But this is where you can start with you and your family. What do you do? What do you do for a living? What is your profession? What is your occupation? Right? They used to always tell me you should teach. I've been always told, and my scores show that I have a high IQ. I have a high intelligence. I mean, I don't have high IQ scores, but I have a high intelligence. That means, yes, you know what I'm saying? I went pretty far academically. So I'm pretty good at learning things. I also know how to be able to teach things. And so that gave me an advantage to where is it that my children were so prepared when they went to kindergarten. They didn't have to go to preschool. They went to kindergarten, and the kindergarten was like, whoa, oh yeah, we don't play. Because the thing is, this is that when we're sitting back and we're laughing and we're thinking it's cute when we see our children cursing and talking mess because they're young, no. I was the one that was sitting up there saying, I'm going to show you how I'm going to teach my children how to write their first, middle, and last name. And then they're going to know how to do it. And so this is where I was able to spend that time with them because I wanted them to learn, not just for school, but to know. And you got to remember, I come from an era where it's that we had to remember everything. My generation was not raised off of technology. We were raised off of manual labor. So we had to literally sit and do things that many generations after us wouldn't be called doing. Okay? So I suggest that when you call the family meeting, you learn and get to know every skill set or even just the skill set that the occupation that particular individual has and let them share with you. If you do taxes, share with your people how to do taxes. That's what I'm on. We have to do this as a community, as a people, as society, but starting with your family. For those of you that understand what I'm speaking of, you know why I speak of like this. Why wouldn't you want to share? Why wouldn't you want to pass on the information or knowledge or skills so that you know? Now, I'm not speaking for you to do it. If you know that an individual is just flat out not interested, you like, I'm not wasting my time. I'm not speaking to that. You want the ones that want to know. I'm going to tell you something. This is no shade to nobody. I had individuals, and I mean family, individuals that were related, that are related to me, that chose not to share certain information with me. And to this day, I do not understand why. But I also understand that it was easy for them to let me know, well, you could go do this. Okay, you're right. And I did. Now, in some cases, I'm more knowledgeable than them, right? But this still will not stop me from even sharing my skill and knowledge with them because I'm cut different. And I say the same thing that we need to do. Think about it. Many of us are running restaurants with Big Mom recipes. Many of us are running restaurants that was passed down in the family, but some family member didn't do nothing with it. But some family member knew how to cook real good and it was like, okay, let's share the skill set. Whatever occupation that you have, what can you teach and bring to your family? Do you even want to? If you don't want to, then you don't need to be watching the video. But you want to, then do that. You know how to make clothes. You should be having events at least several times a year where you have your family come over and you start teaching them the basics. We buying clothes and you making them. We need to be buying fabric and getting you on. Or you teaching us what to do. And y'all see where I'm going with that. These are where is it that we're building family connections and skill set. Now, if we were placed in a reality show on a team and we were given $100,000 and we said, we were told we have to do this in this amount of time, the apprentice, you're going to come together with them individuals. You're going to figure out, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? It's the same thing. Everybody has a gift and talent. And whether you've opened your gifts or not, you working for someone, you're bringing in some income. What skill set have you learned that you can pass on to your family? And there are many. It's some people in your family, they don't even know how to read. Take your time and teach them how to read. Show them places they can go to read. Take your skill set and make it work for your family just as well as you make it work for this individual that you're working for their brand and dream. When I learn stuff, I when I used to work for a company and I had to take a course that talked about dementia, right? And I was so glad that I took that course because I realized that I was getting more familiar with this particular, you know what I'm saying, cognitive issue, disease. But the point is that I needed to be mindful of it. And I didn't even realize that I needed to be that. So the thing is this is that now when we come knowledgeable, remember when you're working for a place, they want you to be knowledgeable because they need you to be able to work for them. But we also need to be able to use that information where it's family. And the thing is this is that many of us were not used to seeing my grandfather in the state that he was. And so the thing is this is that the knowledge that I had, I could be able to say, man, I knew that this is what happened. He was set in his ways, so it was difficult for me to be able to do things, but I could be able to take that knowledge and share with everyone in my family to say, man, these are the things we got to be mindful of. You know what I mean? Even down to my children, this is what you have to look out with me. They might not take these type of courses. They might not want to take these type of courses. They might not look these things up until they feel like that they have to when they got to deal with me. But I have the knowledge now, and I can share with them. I actually did where I taught my children. We did like a little brief class, and I told them I was like, man, these are the fundamentals. I even gave them a couple of videos where you could learn to do CPR. I said because it's important. Now I want to actually have it where we have all of the supplies and the tools where we could be able to do it hand in hand. But it's important. Any parent should know. But if you know it was part of your skill set, have you taught your family or is it against the law? But it's not against the law if I see somebody hurting and they need my help to help them. It's not against the law. What I'm saying is that whatever the skill set that you possess or you carry, be able to take it back to your family to be able to teach them. Don't just give them a fish so that they can eat. Show them how to fish so that they can eat forever. And then they can show somebody else how to fish. That's why we was in the kitchen with our grandparents and they was teaching us how to cook. The thing is this is that not many of them might have had the idea to say, well, let's open up a restaurant. You know what I mean? Maybe some of them said, I'll sell a pie here or there. Well, Miss Betty Lou, she liked to get them pies. I paid pay. Yeah. But your vision was like, man, I could take that and put them in jewels or whatever. So learn the skill set that one of your family members or close individuals that you're related to knows, whether it's what they do for a living, it's their occupation, they work for a company. What can you teach? What can you pass on? We should be sharing this knowledge. It shouldn't be gatekeep. Not all you'll allow it to be known when you need it for your benefit, or when you need it's gonna make you a few dollars. Why not just look at it that it's gonna benefit somebody in your family? It's going to help somebody in the long run. It's going to benefit generations. You're not able to take that knowledge with you when you go. If you don't want to give it, start writing out curriculum where you can have a visual where you can pass on to them, be like, okay, this is everything I know, now teach yourself. If you don't want to have the conversations with them. But I mean, come on now. Does that not sound a little petty? Whatever it is that you are doing, whatever it is where you work, wherever it is your occupation or your profession, come together in your circle, your environment with your related individuals, the ones, your day ones, the ones you're close with, and say, let me teach you this. Or ask, do you want to learn? And then teach them. Let's start building up our community. We should have more of us buying used places and fixing them up because we got the knowledge and we know how to do it. Many of us don't want to do things like that because we don't have all of the knowledge and we don't know. If you working in City Hall and you know about zoning, you should be teaching classes to your family about the zoning and what they're going to look for. We shouldn't have to wait till it's that time for us to go looking for properties and we know that. Teach us. I'm not sounding crazy. I'm sounding for real. The elders are the wisdom. It's like it's a whole bank that's sitting there waiting for us to make withdrawals. I love starting with them because, yes, they're up there. They've been around here a long time. That ain't nothing but knowledge. So much information that definitely can be beneficial to many of our generation. And I'm saying, let's do it. I know it may seem to some that I'm just rambling, but I know it's some out there that understand what I'm saying. And when you get ready to get your family meeting going, you gonna find out all of these gifts and talents that's sitting up in your family that you didn't even know because you was too busy asking who was Ray Ray fucking last night. And you don't even realize that you probably got all kind of degrees and certificates sitting up in your family. Y'all don't talk about that, right? Many jobs require certifications, require training. All the training that I didn't get, I got a lot of certification. You hear me? But it's that knowledge they not taking from me. And I'm spreading. Before they even thought of Airbnb, I remember I said, you know what? People need to start taking their vacant rooms and start renting their rooms out. Next thing you know, people start doing it. I'm not saying it was next thing you know, I start seeing people doing it. I know that it wasn't generated for me, but when I thought about the idea, that's when I began to see it more. And it all starts from my idea. The thing is this, that somebody took their knowledge of the hospitality industry and turned it into where they can be able to use their own property or their own home in that way. We got to share and spread the knowledge, share and spread the skill set. We all have gifts. When you see people like Serena, Venus, Father, or you see people like the Jackson, Joe Jackson, these are individuals who was like, man, let me invest in the talent that I see, right? Now the thing is this is that when you have all of that different skill set that's around, why not share it? Joe Jackson had knowledge of the musical industry to a degree when it comes to bands and music, and he chose to share that with his children to put that into ways that they can make money, right? would be a bad. And even though he was living with them, still it was knowledge that he had that was beneficial and useful. That way he knew. A lot of people wouldn't have known to get them dang on musical instruments, know how to get them practice. We're not thinking like that. But because of the knowledge, but he also knew he had a family to take care of. So as much as he wanted to be into the musical industry, his family required him. And so even though he was living through them, he still took the knowledge. Many of us do that. All of these brands, Hilton, I'm pretty sure that knowledge just runs down in the family. Everybody keep doing it. It can happen with yours too. And it starts somewhere. So start with finding out what gifts and talents is sitting in your family. Call that family meeting. And especially if everybody is doing something, find out what everybody is doing. Then ask each one, when can you take the time to teach us something of your skill set? Just imagine if all families begin to do that, guess where we will be so quickly? I'm only sharing with you what basically that's what I'm on, me and mine. And with this family meeting that we gonna have, I know. And in all fairness, I actually pretty much know what a lot of them do already. I just don't know everything. This is where you can be able to find out. Have those conversations. Set it up. Make it into a dinner party. Go around and talk about it. Start with the family meeting. Find out the gifts and talents that's sitting in your family. Create and plan a time where each one can be able to share something to the family. We're building here. That's a part of building. I don't know about y'all, and I don't know who this was for, but I know that this was for someone. And I'm sharing it with y'all because these are tactics and I've shared with y'all over and over. I am building a community over here, and I want you to follow along with me on this journey. And please, just know when the time is coming, I say, come, come. But right now, take your notes, pass the message, embrace it. The time is here, y'all. And this is not no game. If you are not in the makings of planning and creating for a future or for stability and foundation, then what are you spending your energy and time on? You might not be at this point. And if you and your family are not at this point, then I understand it. But then that means that you need to find out where are you all at and get yourself to a place where y'all could be able to begin to work on getting to this point. And that family may just consist of just you. If it's just you, if it's a group of people, whatever the case is, your people, your circle, your immediate ones, your familiar, your family, your related ones, your kin. Start where you know needs to be started. Don't know who this message was for, but trust and believe. I know it was for somebody. If it's not for you, pass it on to somebody else. I know somebody else can use it. And I ask you to continue to follow along with me on this journey because we building over here. And I got shit to do. And I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to get ready to get myself up out of here. I so thank you for spending this time with me. Please, please, if you have not already, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Greatly appreciate. Greatly appreciate. I want you to know, and this goes back to what my 2026 agenda stated. I am lifting as I climb, and I am building as I dialogue. My energy and my time means something. And so when I put it out or give it away, it is meaningful. And I know that the message that I brought here today can be so beneficial and helpful to many of us. May you use it wisely and well. Have an amazing day on purpose. Continue to be blessed and safe until we meet again.